Hello, everyone. It's lovely to see you. So that's a pretty extensive bio there. Basically, I teach singing, and I teach people who like to teach singing. And it's a lot of fun. I've worked with early childhood at the MIM. I taught classes all the way down to 2-week-olds up to 5-year-olds. That's how I met Shelley. I heard a podcast interview with one of your wonderful teachers, and I saw that she happened to live here in Arizona. Reached out, and she observed one of my classes. I observed one of hers, and we've been good friends for the last couple of years now. I love what your organization does. It's beautiful. I can very much easily see myself becoming a Let's Play teacher myself in my retirement. My fiance as well, she teaches elementary, she teaches kindergarten and does music all day long. Could have easily been a music teacher, but just fell in love with early childhood and focused in there. What we're going to do today is focus on some of my techniques for working with people who can't match pitch well. Yay, yes. Always an in-demand topic. Music education is in a difficult place right now. I know many of you came from the public schools and from other teaching situations. There's value to teaching music theory and music history and analysis and all of these other things, but I do find that many of our students are leaving without fundamental musical skills. I saw many students who graduated high school, graduated college, understanding Tchaikovsky's Birthday and how to analyze a Baroque score, but not being able to sing beautifully in tune. And that's tragic to me, because it's music class. It's not about music class. It's not musicians class, it's music class. And if you can't make music, if you can't engage with music, then why do you need to be able to analyze it? It's like taking an English literature course when you can't read. There's some fundamental skills that matter beneath there, and I don't want to blame teachers. We're under a lot of pressure. We have very little time. There's state curriculum, there's scheduling, there's funding issues, there's 1,000 issues out there. But if a child graduated high school and couldn't add, we'd say there's probably a problem with the math curriculum. And if a child graduated high school and couldn't read, we'd say there's probably a problem with the English curriculum. And most of our children, your children especially, have all this early childhood enrichment, and then they go on to 8 years of general music. And they leave not being able to match pitch and keep a steady beat. And we don't wonder if there's something wrong with the curriculum. It's a core skill, and I'm not saying Tchaikovsky's Birthday doesn't matter, and I'm not saying reading figure bass doesn't matter, and analyzing your key signatures. I'm saying if you can't sing in tune, those things don't matter. The fundamental skills are more important. The quadratic equation matters, but only matters if you can add. So today we're going to work on that. I have worked with several dozen students who I would classify as tone deaf. We can get into the research, but we're not going to today. 0.0001% of the population, very small percentage, functionally tone deaf. Physical disability, mental disability can certainly have an effect there. But if you can tell the difference between a statement and a question, you're not tone deaf. Because you're hearing a pitch difference, and that's what tells you that you're hearing a statement or a question. So we need to work on getting them to finally discriminate between those pitch differences. But as long as they can hear the fundamental differences, they definitely can be taught to sing in tune. Now, they're not going to be taught to be Beyonce. Let's be honest. Most of us are not going to be that good either. I'm certainly not. But they can get to a level where they can comfortably sing a lullaby with their kids. And that's really my goal for my students, is that every student I work with, when they're 80 years old, can sing a lullaby to their grandkids. So vocal health is key for me. Singing beautifully in tune is key for me. Giving them songs they can carry with them for the rest of their life is key for me as well. We're going to start with a little bit of a warm-up, because I found that many students who struggle to sing in tune, it's often a technique issue. So I'm just going to give you a quick masterclass in technique. We're going to talk a little bit about how to structure our oral training, and then I'm going to take you through a sequence of what I would do with a student from beginning to end if they had no pitch matching skills whatsoever, so that you leave comfortable with all of that. It's all there in your handout, but you don't need to follow along. You can set that on your chair, set it underneath. You've got it with you to keep with you for the rest of your life. Also, lots of material and recordings of these topics on my website and on my YouTube channel. So you can always go back and find more of this if you need it. But set that on your chair, set it underneath on the floor, and stand up. It's early in the morning. We're going to get our bodies moving. You guys are going to be using your voices all day long. So let's make sure they're nice and warmed up. Stretch up tall. And let those arms come down. Then roll the shoulders up nice and high. If you can, if you have no space, reach down, touch the toes. My pastor used to tell me if God wanted us to touch our toes, we would put them on our knees. Get that stretch, shake out the shoulders, and come up nice and slow. Roll those shoulders up nice and high. Take your hand and put it on your neck gently. Swallow. It's your Adam's apple or your Eve's pomegranate for most of you, I guess. Voice box, vocal cords, larynx, vocal folds. You can drop your hand now, but that little bump is where your voice comes from. If you look at your thumbs, your voice is about, vocal folds are about the size of your thumbnails. Two little flaps of muscle that buzz together to make the sound of your voice. The pressure in the lungs, the air pressure, is balanced against muscle pressure in the cords to produce that pitch. They vibrate back and forth very, very fast. Can you all sing for me? Beautiful, a lovely tone, much better than most music teachers I work with. That's lovely, gorgeous. So when you do that, that's A440. The reason we call it A440 is that your chords are flapping together 440 times per second. And when you sing flat, it's slightly slower than that, maybe 435 times per second. When you sing sharp, maybe 442 times per second. So to sing in tune, what your brain needs to do is, I press this, that speaker vibrates 440 times a second. The air in the room vibrates 440 times a second. Your eardrum vibrates 440 times a second. The liquid in your cochlea vibrates 440 times a second. Your brain translates that vibration into electricity. It sends that signal down your vocal cords and your lungs to balance air pressure against chord pressure, so that when you push the air through, those chords will flap exactly 440 times per second, exactly, not one time per second slower or faster. And you don't need to know those numbers, which is pretty neat. Your brain can do advanced calculus without you needing to know it, because every note you sing is a different frequency. And what most of you did was, you heard the piano pitch that I played, but I didn't sing 440. I sang 220. The octave below is half the frequency. So your brain, without even knowing the math, without knowing any of the numbers, hears 220, knows that's too low for me, I'm going to sing it up here instead, and doubles the frequency, and then does everything we just talked about. When you hear the solfege, do, mi, so, mi, do. Do, mi, so, mi, do. Beautiful, ladies. Wonderful job. Thank you. Each of those pitches is a different frequency. Each of those pitches is a different frequency. Your brain loves the frequencies that have a nice, pleasing ratio with each other. So the reason an octave sounds very nice, do, do, 220 to 440 is a pleasing ratio. Our brain says, oh, 1 to 2, I like that. Simple math, I can do that. Very nice. When you hear, you're hearing frequencies that don't match very well together at all. The ratio is more complicated. So if you're slightly out of tune, if you're singing a slightly different number, if you're singing 440 and I'm singing 437, that ratio is so complex that your brain absolutely hates it. That's why we feel that pain when we hear out of tune singing. Because we don't like the bad, complicated math. What we're looking for is that perfect, beautifully in tune chord. The reason that I'm starting with vocal health and technique is because it's moving so fast and the muscles are so small. You can imagine, everybody take your hand here, move your hand once per second. Move it twice per second. 1, 2, 1, 2. Move it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Move it 440 times. Kind of hard, right? Kind of hard to keep it consistent and could cause some damage. Those chords are scraping right up against each other. And for those of you who live somewhere up north, you're a little bit better off. Living in the desert, it's not exactly designed for keeping those chords well lubricated and well moisturized. So you need to constantly be pounding down water. You need to be taking good care of this, because any tightness up here in the instrument, any poor technique, makes that job harder. It's already a really hard job to keep that at the exact right frequency, balancing the air pressure against the chord pressure. Every note that changes that frequency. Lots of room for error. If they're slapping together 440 times a second and one out of those 440 hits the wrong way, now you got some voice damage. And then every time it hits, it's re-emphasizing that damage. When you get nodes, when you get some scarring on your vocal cords, it just keeps getting slapped every time. I've had students who had to go up to 3 months of vocal rest in order to recover from minor injuries like that. So you've got to take good care of this, and you don't need to go to this level of detail with your parents and your students, but it's helpful to know that your voice is doing a lot of work, and you need to take good care of it. Don't shout, don't scream, don't push yourself too much, don't whisper, protect your voice. Whispering is just as rough on the cords as shouting and screaming. Speak with the same technique you use when you sing. Project forward, that ring into the front of the instrument. Use that supported breath down here. Relax and free up the top of the instrument. Let's do a little bit of breath work. Everyone show me your palms. And put them down here on your abs. Your thumbs should be touching the bottom rib. Fingertips should be touching just about your belly button, maybe a little bit above. When you breathe in, make those fingertips come apart. And breathe out. Now you're not breathing into your belly. Some of your choir teachers and voice teachers may have said, take a belly breath, breathe into your belly, right? You heard that before? Yeah? You don't want to breathe into your belly. You know what happens when you breathe in your belly? You don't breathe into your belly, you want to breathe into your lungs, but your belly has to get out of the way to make room for your lungs. You've probably heard a word called diaphragm, right? Who's heard the word diaphragm? What diaphragm means to most students is a fancy science-sounding word that makes my voice teacher stop asking me how breathing works. What a diaphragm actually is a flat muscle underneath your lungs that acts as the floor of your chest cavity. It can drop to give you more space for your lungs for more breath support. And more breath support means your cords don't have to work as hard because they have more pressure from the lungs. Go ahead and take your hands and go push under your ribs a little bit. Try to get behind your bottom rib and then cough. You feel that muscle that pops out? That's your diaphragm. You don't have conscious control over your diaphragm. Your brain is smart. Evolution is smart. God is smart. Your brain and God and evolution know that you're a dummy, and if you give you control of your diaphragm, you'll screw it up. There's a lot of things your body doesn't give you control over. You don't know how to walk. Your body knows how to walk. Try and explain to someone what muscles you move in order to make yourself walk. Pretty hard, right? You don't get to use your spleen. You don't get to use your kidneys. Your brain takes care of that. If you were in charge of beating your heart, and you woke up one morning and said, okay, beat, 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 beat. Okay, I'm gonna brush my teeth. Oh, beat, 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 beat. Go in the shower. Oh yeah, I love this game. Let's say so. Beat, 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 beat. You'd be dead by lunch. Your brain knows that it needs to take care of the important things. So it takes care of the diaphragm. You can't breathe with your diaphragm. What you can do is make space, and your diaphragm will move on its own. So that's why we're taking our hands right here, put them right here on the abs. As you breathe in, push those guts out of the way so the diaphragm has somewhere to go. It needs to drop down into your gut space. Take a big breath. Good, and out. This time we're going to hiss, and I want you to feel those abs doing the work. Don't let your throat do the work. When your throat does the work, you can damage those cords. Let your core do the work. Breathe in, and hiss. Check those muscles, make sure they're working. Relax that neck, moving side to side. And this time we're going to pulse. And every time I want you to feel those ab muscles, those core muscles engaging to get that sound out. Keep that neck nice and relaxed and free. And let it out. You'll notice very quickly with the head motion, if there's any tension in your neck, you'll start to move like a robot or a sprinkler. If you can move it smoothly, then those muscles are free. You may have noticed at times getting back home at the end of a long day and then going, wow, my shoulders and neck were tight for hours. I didn't even notice it. That happens, and it happens to your students. It's easy to get used to that feeling and not notice that we're tight. So you need to have some cues to remind you to get relaxed. That gentle neck movement as you're warming up and as you're going into a class and as you're singing a song is a really helpful way, because if you'll know, tighten up your shoulders and try to move your neck smoothly side to side. It doesn't work. You'll feel it. And then you can roll those shoulders and relax into it. With that freedom in the muscles, the cords can move much more freely. Sometimes that tension is one of the causes for our students singing out of tune. Sometimes lack of breath support is that reason for our singers singing out of tune. So make sure that they know how to breathe into their bellies. They can roll their shoulders back and go. And you can have a nice competition to see who can do it the longest. They love competition, especially those boys. Let's go ahead and try that. Everyone take your biggest belly breath and we'll see how long we can hold it.
right? Relax those cheeks like you just got back from the dentist and there's growth from the Novocaine left in your jaw.
Much easier. That tightness again pulls up on the larynx, tightens everything up, and now you can't sing as well.
You need to free that up.
We also need to talk a little bit about registration, your head voice versus your chest voice. The easiest way for me to show that to kids is just to give them a physical sensation of it. So repeat after me. This is my speaking voice.
This is my speaking voice.
This is my chest voice.
This is my chest voice.
This is my singing voice.
This is my singing voice.
This is my head voice.
This is my head voice.
So when I need a little more head voice and my singers are stuck in their chests, a little this. When we've done that warm-up multiple days in a row, they get what that means immediately. It's a very easy gesture to just bring them back when they're singing, Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb, Mary had. And now it's more in tune, it's more beautiful, it's more relaxed, and it's way healthier. They're using that chest all day long. They don't have good modeling for beautiful in-tune singing. A few generations ago, we did. Everyone learned the same songs and the same hymns in church. They would sing the same songs at school. We had the patriotic flag songs in school. A lot of these things that everybody knew, that started to fade from the culture. We got the top 40 Billboard hits, and everybody had, the Beatles. Everybody had the same pop tunes. But now people have headphones and iPods, so they're not listening to the same songs anymore. And then we had Disney. And that was a lovely couple of decades there, where everyone knew Lion King and Little Mermaid. And I'm not getting kids who know that. A lot of kids have not heard that music. We had this really sad decade or so gap where kids weren't getting any of this music, and then we got Frozen. And I don't love Adina as a model for children, but there's a song all the kids know it, which is good because we have a foundation we can work with. But we need to give them beautiful vocal modeling. One of the great things you do here at Let's Play is you have those CDs you can send home with the parents so they have some beautiful singing to play at home. Many of your kids come to you only ever having heard rap, hip-hop, rock, maybe country, maybe some jazz if you're lucky, maybe some musical theater if you're really lucky. Probably never any beautiful in-tune head voice classical singing. Probably almost never. So they need to get it from you. They need to hear that in their heads before they can reproduce it with their mouths. And it's easy to forget that as a teacher, as an adult, because we have thousands of hours of that drilled into ourselves. So we need to get that sound back into their heads. I can honestly tell you that if you assign to your parents, play those CDs, play those children's songs to them, 1-2 hours a day, for 2 or 3 weeks, for 2 or 3 months, you're gonna get more out of that than a year of private coaching with a really, really great teacher. They just need good sounds in their ear, and they have so many bad sounds in their ears. You may not know this, babies actually are born babbling every phoneme, every speech sound, every syllable of every possible language. They can produce all of them. They only keep the ones that they hear from the adults in their lives. So most of us have a lot of sounds from German, from French, from Asian languages that we cannot reproduce because we didn't hear them as children. They need that modeling in order to lock in their brain's potential. They need that beautiful in-tune singing in order to lock that in. They need to hear a lot more beautiful music, and you're making music in your class all the time. There's not as much time for active listening, so you have to find ways to encourage that with your parents and with your students. The more listening you do, the better it's going to be. A little bit more quick technique, and then we're going to move into the philosophy. Can you sing for me? Take your hands, fingertips touching, press them right into your cheekbones. This is called the zygomatic arch. This is where your ring comes from. Everybody say, sing.
Sing.
Feel your fingertips buzzing a little bit on those cheekbones. Do it again. Sing. Good. Put your hands down. It seems like I speak loud. Most people think I have a loud voice. I don't have a loud voice. I have a very ringy, resonant voice. I can speak this exact same volume and turn off my ring. And all of a sudden, you can't hear me very well at all. I'm not speaking any quieter. I just turned off this. I can turn that back on, and now I sound a lot louder. My voice is bouncing off the back of the wall. Everybody say, sing.
Sing.
Good. Put the fingers on the cheekbones. Say, sing.
Sing.
The problem obviously is that affects your tone. Automatically, as soon as you bring the sound up here, you're going to start sounding a little bit like a kindergartner. That's okay. Most of your students are kindergartners. It's all right for them to sound like kindergartners. They need that ring and that power, and a lot of them are told to shut up most of their day. A lot of them are told to stay quiet constantly, and they come to music class and they go, and you go, sing out. But the problem is they spent 16 hours that day being told to shut up and stay quiet. So we need to encourage them to use their voices in the right context when they need it. Put those fingers one more time and say, sing.
Sing.
Sing me.
your fingertips and put it into the vowel.
Sing, sing, sing,
Sing on.
sing on, sing on.
Beautiful job. You can put those hands down. That cue is a really good one for getting you to bring that sound right up into the front.
If there's some good stuff back here, it goes flat very easily. Especially if the breath support isn't there and if there's some tightness in the throat.
Usually musicians come together.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. We have to engage that proper technique before we assume that it's an ear trick. Breath, put your hands right here. Give me your best Santa. Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
Very nice. So the point is you need to feel the start and stop of the sound down here, not up here. You'll hear the difference. Throat. Core. It powers up the breath, not from the throat. We think of our singers as singing from the voice, singing from the throat, singing from the mouth. Not going to get you the sound you want. Sing from the breath every time. And if you think of the breath as being up here, you're going to breathe up here. Now the thing is, your students, they're so young, they don't need a lot of this explained to them. What they do need is it modeled for them. If you say, breathe down here with a deep belly breath, and then you go, they're going to do what you do, not what they see. They're going to do what you do, not what you say. They're going to model exactly what they see. They're little monkey see, monkey do kids. They do not have a good understanding of our language at that age. Even all the way up to middle school and high school, they really are not understanding articulated speech that well. They're mostly just kind of nodding along and saying what they think you want them to say. Right? You've had that experience. You ask a question and they give you an answer and you're like, I don't think you understood anything I said. You're just trying to make me happy, right? And it's so sweet. It's wonderful. I'm so glad they want to make us happy. But the problem is we get caught up as teachers in thinking we're doing good teaching when they act like they understand. Any questions? You guys get that? They understand a thing. We're right over their head. But they know if they raise their hand, they're going to get pointed out as the kid who doesn't know anything. And they know they get made fun. But often when at home, they ask questions. They say, why? And they get told, stop asking stupid questions. So they learn that it's not safe to ask the questions. So we need to show it to them in our technique. We need to model for them the best possible singing we can, because for most of our students, you are the best musician they have ever met in real life. Oh, they've heard better musicians than you, certainly have recordings, but they've never met one in real life. They've never seen one in action. You are the epitome of beautiful, amazing musicianship and quality singing. They've never heard anyone as beautiful and as wonderful and as musical as you are. So you have a responsibility to model that for them constantly. When you sing poorly, they're going to pick up on it. Can you do a quick exercise with me? I want you to clap. Okay, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, go. And then we're going to clap. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. And ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. It's not just the kids who ignore instructions and pay attention to what they see. I said very clearly, twice, 1, 2, 3, go, then clap. When I chose to clap after 3, I didn't say anything about me clapping after 3 or whether I would do it or not, but I told you explicitly, don't clap until after I sing out. You still follow what I did, because I'm the person up at the front of the room. If your brain tells you the person in front of the room does things, I'm supposed to do them. I'm supposed to pay attention. The kids do that too. So don't just think because you know how to sing properly that you're actually demonstrating it constantly. I highly encourage you to record yourself the same way I'm recording this session right now and go back to a fine-tooth comb and pay careful attention. Am I doing anything that I wouldn't want to see in my students? Any of that stuff, any tightness up here, any tension, any high breath instead of low breath, any posture issues, any modeling of poor tone, any of that, any out of tune singing, we all do it. We all do it, but you gotta be careful with that, okay? Really good job, really excellent work with that warm-up. Go ahead and have a seat.
You guys make a beautiful sound. I hear lovely, lovely singing in here. I'm sure 99% of what you model for your students is flawless. Thank you very much. This is for the 1 or 2 of you who may have some doubts whether or not it's 100% perfect all the time. So, good job. Those little technical things are mentioned on that first page of the handout. I want to tell you a little bit about one of the graphics I have in there. You don't need to reference the handout, but you'll see a little pyramid that talks about the sequential learning of music as a language. I stole this from Edwin Wharton, who's one of the best researchers in music education, probably unknown to his thinking desk. Got to see him in Boston before he passed, unfortunately, a few years ago. But if you look into Edwin Wharton, his books are fabulous. He has a process called music learning theory, where I stole a lot of this from. It's a very bastardized and reduced version of his work. You know, take thousands of hours to give you the actual research, but I'm going to give you the basics. So what he talked about was that the same way we learn language, we have a sequence of vocabularies we build up in order to build those skills. The foundation is listening. We need to hear the sounds before we can make the sounds. The next step is speaking. We need to be able to repeat the sounds that we've heard after we've heard them. The next is thinking. We need to be able to play with those sounds and make new sounds and improvise within music in order to use the elements that we've already attained in our listening and speaking vocabulary. Then we move on to reading. We're able to look at something visual and translate it into a sound. Then we move to writing. We're able to take a sound in our head and translate it into something visual. Hand signs are the same thing as reading and writing. We get caught up in notation very easily. Notation is not that. The jump from do, re, mi, sing for me.
Do, re, mi.
Beautiful. Sing without me singing.
Do, re, mi.
Beautiful. So you're reading. The jump from this to this. Everybody, this is my do. Do, re, mi. Read for me.
Do, re, mi.
Beautiful. 5 lines, 4 spaces. The jump from that to the page is not a very hard jump. If you can get them here and maybe here, then the transition to page can come in elementary school general music and it will come flawlessly. You don't need to get them to notation early, but once they've built the ears and skills, they'll transition very, very quickly. A hard transition is going from the eyes to the ears. It's very easy for me to sing and then you sing. Much harder for a child to see this, hear the pitches inside their head, and then produce them without hearing them first. That's a big jump, and it takes years of building that listening vocabulary, hearing songs from others, not just while they're singing. Then speaking vocabulary, repeating back the songs they've heard and singing them with others. Then thinking vocabulary, playing around and improvising the songs, changing the lyrics, changing the notes a little bit, playing the music. Then to be able to transition to reading those visuals. And eventually, the other way around. When I sing, show me with your hands what I'm singing. Beautiful. That's dictation. That's college level music theory now that you guys are doing. I sing a tune, you're dictating it for me. Because you could go from this to the page very easily. The hard part is the ear to the hand. Once you've gone from oral to visual, the notation takes care of itself. Now I do want to point out that listening vocabulary is very, very, very important. It's easy to think that when we're singing with our kids, we're also building up their sound bank, but that is a reflection of the sounds they've already heard. It's not the same as listening. Our brains, our bodies have a very specific process for not allowing us to hear ourselves when we're producing a sound. Because my voice sounds pretty loud right now, right? Look at how far away my mouth is from my ear. It's about this far. Now if I was this far from your ear, you probably wouldn't want me to talk as loud as I am right now, right? It wouldn't be very comfortable, right? But my ears don't hurt when I talk. Why is that? There's a muscle called the stapedius muscle. It sits on your eardrum and it dampens the drum while your vocal cords are producing sound. And the reason for that is if you're a monkey in a tree and you're screaming that a tiger is coming, you don't want to go deaf while you're running away from the tiger from your own screams. That doesn't make sense. So we evolved this little muscle that lands on the drum, just like if you're trying to hit a timpani, hit a drum, hit some kind of percussion instrument, and you left your hand on top of the drum, it doesn't sound as loud, right? That's all it does. It dampens the eardrum. But it actually functions to do that a microsecond before you even produce sound with your cords. It's really cool. They do brain scans on that, and this fires before this does. So as you're about to make a sound, your ears turn on. You can still kind of hear, obviously. When we sing together, you can hear yourself, you can hear, but not as loud. It's not the same. So it's not just about the group singing. It's not just about the singing back for us. It's also about active listening. Closing their eyes, paying attention to the sounds, getting those sounds into their brains without always forcing them to reproduce them constantly. That can come at home. I know you have limited time, you need to be making music while you're with your kids, but they need to have that listening. And if you aren't confident that their parents are getting it at home, you need to have some time for it in the classroom as well. I know that you guys are doing a wonderful job of that. So that's the sequence we build up. Focus on the hearing first, then move up to the reproduction, Then start playing with those sounds. And then the reading and the writing. I want to talk to you a little bit about what I would do exactly with a student who comes in who has no functional skill whatsoever. Pull out your handout for a second just so I can show you what we're looking at. And then I'll talk you through what we're looking at. Go past the first couple pages to page 5, instructional sequence for pitch challenged singers. So I broke this down into 6 categories. There's a back to that page right there as well. It's to work on their hearing, their producing of pitch, identifying when pitch matches and when it doesn't. You flip the page, following someone else's pitch, matching someone else's pitch, and reproducing patterns. Once you're at the point that you can reproduce patterns in tune, you can sing. Good job. Congratulations. You're done with needing to learn how to sing in tune. So my goal with this sequence is that no matter what level your student is at, you can find a place where they already have mastery and build from there to the point where they can sing beautifully in tune. So there are some who will come in halfway through the sequence. Some will come in almost at the end. But there are some who go all the way back to the beginning. I've never had a student who failed all of the beginning levels of the sequence. Because the first level of the sequence is, can the singer identify high and low, including extremes? So can you tell me, am I singing high or low? Put your hand on your lap if I'm singing low, put your hands up if I'm singing high. Ah! 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 Good. I've never had a student fail that. If you have one, please, please, please bring them to me. I would love to work with them and study them and see if I can make it work, because I've never had a student I couldn't teach. I've had students that I have not been able to teach because they have chosen not to engage with the amount of coaching and practice and work it would take in order to develop. I've never seen a student who's taken 2 years of professional voice lessons from a coach who knows what they're doing, working with kids who can't sing in tune, who still couldn't sing in tune at the end of 2 years of coaching. I've had many people who say, I'm tone deaf, I can't sing well. I say, oh, I can help you learn. They say, no, I don't want to. Yeah, those people won't learn how to sing. Not can't, won't. There are many, many who won't. Fully agree with that. It's our job to try to treat them all as if they can. We don't know if they will. Some will need a lot of practice at home. Some will need a lot more work. Some will need to spend quite a bit of money getting some professional coaching to get over the detrimental. Because if they don't have a lot of listening and a lot of singing in the early childhood, in the first couple of years, it can take a decade to rebuild that skill. Same thing with language. If a child doesn't learn to speak a human language in the first couple of years, there's some runaways, in the woods that are found later as feral children years later. There have been studies on this. If a child doesn't learn language in the first several years of life, it's very, very hard to develop later in life. The brain is set. It doesn't have those neurons open anymore. So early childhood is the most important time for music. You can build those fundamental skills, they'll carry them with them in the rest of their lives. So we start right there. Can they identify extreme high and low? Can they identify large pitch motion? Can you show me, am I going up or going down? Oh! 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 Good. Again, never really had a student that can't do that. Okay? So you've got somewhere you can start with the absolute extreme cases. You can move through here relatively quickly because most kids will already have those basic skills. Yes?
Just a quick question.
Of course.
I mean, so I have like a group of 8 kids,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I have that whole range. The kid can see perfectly, and then the child who can't. And I have 3 minutes.
Of course.
So how am I like,
Yep,
to make
that's
sure I can help each child?
Yep, I fully agree with. So that is a very difficult situation, and that is exactly what I was talking about earlier. That you'll have students that can learn to sing, but won't learn to sing in tune. You can't catch every student in a group setting with a limited amount of time. It's just the case. I'm sorry. It's a harsh answer, and there's a lot of clinicians and professional educators who will come out and say, no, every student can learn to sing beautifully in tune and sight read music in a 30-minute class once a week for 3 months. No, I can't. Sorry. So they might need more instructional time, they might need more one-on-one time, they might need more practice at home. All of those things are possible. If you've got an extreme case that is at that level, the biggest thing is give them a year of just listening to music, because they probably don't have that listening vocabulary at all. And then recommend to the parent, maybe they could use a little bit of one-on-one time. Maybe a 20-minute lesson once or twice a month would be enough to be able to pull this out. Because this sequence is designed for one-on-one because 90 to 95% of your students are going to get it from your instruction. I'm not here to teach you how to get all of your kids to sing in tune, because 95% of them already are. How many of you have more than 5% of your classes that can't sing in tune by the end of a year of classes? More than 5%. No, it's one or two kids, right? It's a few trouble cases. This is for the specific trouble cases. That's what it's for. I'd be useless to you if I came in and said, here's some broad stuff you can use with 95% of your students. You already have the stuff you need for 95% of your students. Your curriculum is beautiful for 95% of your students. It's the 1% at the bottom that this is targeted to. Okay? Good job on the high pitch motion. Can we identify small pitch motion, up or down? Whoop. The smaller pitch motion's a little trickier for them than the big pitch motion, so you'll catch some kids there. And you can just treat it as a game like that. Very easy and very simple. Can they identify pitch consistency? This is one we don't often teach. We won't focus on the high and low and moving up and moving down. We don't focus on hearing when the pitch hasn't moved. So can you show me pitch goes up, pitch goes down, pitch stays the same? Up, 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 Good, good. Yeah, no, I know we're a little out of tune sometimes, so you're not sure what I'm trying to do. Very funny. You know, no, I think you're a quarter step flat there, so. It is important to accept and admit when we fail and when we do poorly in front of our students, because it gives them permission to make mistakes for us as well. As I said before, for most of your students, you are the best musician they've ever met live in their life. You're a celebrity. You're amazing. You have a skill they wish they could possess. They think you're flawless. So when you ask them to sing for you, they're horrified and embarrassed. It'd be like if you met Justin Timberlake, Beyonce, Adele, whoever it is that you look up, Taylor Swift, and they said, oh yeah, sing me a song. You're a music teacher, right? I don't know if I want to sing. Okay. You'd be a little embarrassed. You'd be a little intimidated. The gap between you and Taylor Swift is smaller than the perceived gap between your students and you. Much smaller. They see you as someone who has so much more skill than they could ever imagine. So admit when you make those mistakes in front of them. I've had people ask before, when I say that, they say, oh, so you plan the mistakes in your work. You don't need to plan them. They happen on their own. I don't intentionally sing out of tune for you, but I know I will once or twice, and I just address it once it comes up. So easy enough to just address that when it happens. And that helps the students have that ownership that, okay, I can admit my mistakes too, and that's okay. Even my music teacher, who's really, really good and sings so beautifully, makes mistakes sometimes. That's okay. So that consistency is important because that builds the foundation for making a match of a sound. I don't want you to sing a sound higher than me. I don't want you to sing a sound lower than me. I want you to sing the same sound as me. So they need to have that same sound skill inside their brain. I promise I'll leave a little time for questions at the end, but I want to get through this real quick if you don't mind. Producing. Can the singer produce a variety of sounds, high and low? Animal sounds are great for this. Repeat after me. Beautiful. So if you can see that they can produce sounds high and low, sometimes, especially with your older students, boys, some of them have already started their voice change relatively early. I'm seeing it really early nowadays. There are some 8, 9, 10-year-olds who are already starting their voice change, and many of them have just not heard a lot of variety in pitch in spoken language. You may have met these parents who speak mostly down here and everything is sort of in the same 1 or 2 pitch range and nothing really moves at all. Yeah? And then those kids come here and say, hello, it's very nice to meet you. Poor baby. So you need to help them develop that skill to make high and low sounds. Can you please make a sound that's nice and high? Can you make a sound that's nice and low? Can you make a sound in your medium range? Good. And your students should be able to do that very easily on day one. If they can't, play around with those animal sounds and echo games to get them to produce those sounds. But I don't expect you to go through every level of this with every student. Again, this is there so you can figure out where is my kid today and what is the next smallest step I can take to get some progress. It might take you 6 months to get 2 or 3 steps down this list. You might only need this for 2 or 3 students out of the 20, 30, 40 years that you're teaching. But when you run into those students, you'll have something to use. Because otherwise it's, this kid can't sing in tune. How do I make them sing in tune? 500 steps in between there. You can't make that jump. You go into the gym on day 1, January 1st, New Year's resolution, I'm gonna get strong, I'm gonna get jacked. You put 300 pounds on the bar and you go to squat, you're not gonna do it. You say, how am I gonna squat 300 pounds? I better think of a better strategy. No, you need to lift 10 pounds, and then 20 pounds, and then 30 pounds, and then 40 pounds, and then 5 years from now, maybe you can lift 300 pounds. It's a sequence. And if you think, I can't lift 10 pounds today, I want to lift 300 pounds tomorrow, you're not gonna do it. Many of your students are already 95% of the way there. Again, this is not for the majority of your students. This is for the specific ones that need that extra help.
So can they produce the high and low? Can they produce large pitch motion? Can you match me? Oh! Oh! Good. Can you move your voice the way my finger does? Good. Good. So you can produce motion. Some of them can't. Some of your kids will come in and they'll go, They won't be able to do it. Some. Very few. Work and build that up. If you reach a level that they can't do, go back one level and practice that level. And then build it up. Each one is just a small, small jump. One of my coaches used to say, if there's a problem in your teaching, cut it in half. Look at what you're trying to get them to do, look at where they are, and the gap between where they are and what you want them to do, and cut it in half. They're not getting this song. Okay, teach half the phrase. They're not getting half the phrase. Okay, teach the first 2 notes. They're not getting the first 2 notes. Teach the first note. Keep going smaller and smaller until you find something they can do. Sometimes the problem is motivation. Sometimes the problem is you're not explaining clearly what you want from them. But often the problem is we're asking them to make too big of a jump. We just taught them their alphabet, and now we're asking them to analyze Shakespeare. Too big a jump. Sorry, why can't my children analyze Shakespeare? Because they're 5 and they just learned their alphabet. That's why. They need a few years to build up those skills to get to that level. All right. Can they produce small pitch motion? Good, good. Excellent job. Very nice. And that, I'm not asking that they, when I'm doing this with a student, I'm not asking that they do it on the same pitch as I do. This level is just the motion. So if I go, and they go, that's fine. It doesn't matter where the range is. They can move. I can work with them. I can play with their pitch now that I know they can move that pitch. And if I say move that pitch up, they can move it up. And if I say move that pitch down, they can move it down. If they can't, you need to spend more time drilling that in their head. Singing to them. Listening to songs and saying, did that song go up or did that song go down? Rocky Mountain, Rocky Mountain, Rocky Mountain high. When I say the word high, is my note high or low? Rocky Mountain high. It goes high. Good job. If they can't identify that, you need to move back a few steps. They should be able to identify that. Do a lot more listening. Ask more questions. Ask them to model that. They may not sing the song in tune, but if they're moving in the right direction, you're getting progress. Okay? Good. Last step on there, can you produce pitch consistency? Hold one note without wavering. Now the important part about this step, this is the key pivot. We're now talking about actually singing in tune, not against somebody else's pitch. Can they produce their own sound and not move that sound? Can I get a volunteer? Real quick, you can sing one note for me. Thank you. Can you sing a note for me? Beautiful. It didn't move at all. Can someone else sing a note for me in an out-of-tune, wavy, movie way? Deliberately sing back. Come on, some of you can sing back. Sing for me. There you go. So what I would say is, that's great. And that's actually much better than many of your students will give you the first time, right? Right? Fabulous. But what I heard was, your pitch moved around a little bit. It moved kind of like this. Can you make your pitch go, right across? Can you pick a different note than me and just make it go right across? Yeah, the same one who sang poorly before, yes. Yeah. Sing it beautifully this time.
No.
Great, that's fine. Yeah, that's perfect. There you go. Also perfect. It doesn't need to be a beautiful sound right now. It's still consistent. That's all I'm asking for right now is consistency. That's why we talk technique so much in the first half, because you want to make sure that's not the issue. Once they have the technique, once they can breathe from here, once they can relax here, once they can use that throaty head voice instead of that chest voice, once they can bring some ring into the tone, if they've got those key skills and they're still singing out of tune, it's an ear issue. And that's when we use this diagnostic criteria. This is chemo. You don't use chemo for the sniffles. You save it for a specific case. Okay? Thank you. Moving on to producing. We know they can hold a pitch. Can they identify matching? Now here is a key pivot point. Do not expect your students who can't sing in tune to match to your pitch before you match to their pitch. You matching to their pitch is easier for them than them matching to your pitch. It doesn't seem that way intuitively. You think them coming up with a note out of their head, out of spontaneous air, is difficult. Because for you it is. Because you're a well-trained musician. So when I say, can I have someone sing a note for me? You go, what note? Can you play me a note on the piano? Can you sing me a note? Any note, just pick one. It's fine. We stress out because we spent 20, 30, 40, 50, 70 years of our lives singing the note that was given to us.
not making notes come out of our heads. For a kid who hasn't had 20 years of singing back the note that was given to them, it's easier to just sing a note. Can everyone just sing a random note? Pick a note. And if I held that out for a little longer, you'd see it converge even more. It started out, and then it started to, everybody started to, okay, my neighbor, oh, she's over there, okay, whoa. That's a good note, good notes, Jenny. Excellent choice. C sharp is a terrible choice, I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. So get them to produce a note first, and you match it with them. Can I have another volunteer? Can you sing a note for me? Yeah. So, okay, no, thank you. Awesome. When we ask our students to sing for us, you've had how many years of experience as a singer? 30 years of experience as a singer. I asked her to sing one note. And she said, how do you think a 5-year-old feels when you ask them to sing Old MacDonald? She has 30 years experience. That's not an insult in any way. I feel the same way. We need to feel brave enough to do these things, because when you feel that little thing of terror that I might choose you to sing the next note, your students are feeling that every single day in class. And they really feel it in school. And the little boys especially. Because society does not support voice singing at all. Can you sing me a note again? Beautiful. Can you tell me if I'm singing the same note as you? Sing it again. Yeah. How did you know that? And how did it feel when I sang the same note as you? No, that's great. Sing it again. Sing it again. Now I'm going to sing a different note. Sing it again. What feels different? What feels different when it's in tune versus out of tune? It's uncomfortable. It feels uncomfortable in our bodies. Who else has a way of describing it? What does it feel like when you sing in tune? Your ears wanted to close when it was out of tune. Yep. Yeah. A feeling of wanting to crunch up and close. Yes. What about you? You feel happy when it's in tune. Yeah. Happy. Who else has a feeling of? Yeah. Brings together like waves going together. What else? Who feels good things when singing in tune? Everybody sing the same note as me. Ooh. How does it feel in your body? Yes.
Well, maybe it's not my body, but I feel unified.
Unified. Great. What do you think? Great. So what I encourage you to do with these extreme students, find their words. Warm, fuzzy. I had a student who said it was like a beam of light coming out of their forehead. Unicorn lasers. Cool. All right, let's go for the unicorn lasers. They need to know what the feeling is. I had one student who I worked with for 2 years to try to get her over this. It was so hard. She sang in my choir. She's one of those great kids who loved to sing. Everything was she was so passionate on stage. Everything, the face, the body, and just the most attitude to sing you would ever hear in your life. It was so amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. She was so into it though. And I worked with her privately for months and months, just trying to get her to match a few notes on the piano. And I struggled, and that's where this work came from. So it's about a decade ago. And finally, about 6 months in, we were singing together, we were playing a little follow the leader game, and we locked in. I said, okay, that. What was that feeling? You mean that warm, fuzzy feeling? Yeah, that. She goes, that's what it feels like when you sing flat, right? Yeah. You guys have been teaching for 35, 10, 40, whatever years. You're still struggling to give me words for what it feels like to sing in tune. We tell a student, you're not matching my note. What does that mean? It means our notes are supposed to match. Okay? What are notes? What's match? They're supposed to be the same. They're supposed to be unified. Great, I'm 3, so I don't really know what unified means. Play around with a partner. Sing in tune with your partners, with your students, with your parents. Sing in tune and pay attention to that feeling. Notice what it feels like in your body. Try to come up with better words and then use the words your students use. They'll give you words. When they hear 2 people sing in tune and 2 people sing out of tune, they'll give you some terminology. Use it. Because matching, singing in tune, that doesn't mean anything to a 5-year-old. It doesn't mean anything to a 10-year-old. It doesn't mean anything to a high schooler. They need a description of the feeling. What's going on in my body? How does it work? How does it feel? So from there, we want to play some follow the leader games and get them to a place where they can match us. So can I have another volunteer? Lovely. Would you sing it out for me? Very nice. Can you help me find your note? If I'm too low, can you move me up with your finger? Do it again.
Good. So I want them making me move first because that's easy. Much easier than them following me. Then we do the reverse. Can you start a little bit lower than me? Very good. Once they can follow me, now we've got something we can work with. In class, when you hear them a little bit out of tune, you can use the little hand cues. Same thing with the technique. Sometimes it's a technical issue. Get them back into their head. Get their breath back here. Roll the shoulders back. Relax the neck a little bit. Those little cues are very, very helpful because you can't always shout out for them. And when you're in a group setting, you don't want to point out those individuals. Okay? But you want to make sure there's some individual singing every day in each class because that allows you, when you need to spend a little bit more time with one of those kids without it being awkward. If I have a class of 8 kids and I make one kid sing for half the class, I'm really putting the spotlight on them. But if every kid is, hello, boys and girls.
Hello, boys and girls.
Hello, Mr. Keene.
Hello, Mr. Keene.
Very good. And your name is? Hello, Carla. They'll do that the first time too. They will, yeah. Hello, I swear, state your name. Yeah, that happens. State your name. Yeah, that happens. They'll repeat exactly what you say. But if you get them into little simple games like that, little echo games where they're playing back and forth at you, Charlie over the ocean.
Charlie over the ocean.
Charlie over the sea.
Charlie over the sea.
Charlie on a blackbird.
Charlie on a blackbird.
Can't catch me.
Can't catch me.
Beautiful, beautiful. So we can do these little echo games and point out individuals so that everyone's getting a little chance and you're getting that assessment every day. Again, most of your classes, you may not have any student that needs this. But when you do, you've got this in your back pocket. Flip over to that back page. Can they follow my directions? Can they match from my sung pitch? And can they match those patterns? That's the last level. You probably won't get there with your early childhood. Because many of your kids are going to come in already having those skills. The kids that are going to come in with the really, really bad problems, it's going to take them a year or two to get to that back page. They might have to do that in elementary school. But once you give them the foundation, they can match, they can produce a pitch. You can match that pitch, and they know what that feeling is. They'll get the rest of it on their own. You can take them through this if they have the time, if they have the money for the private coaching. They'll really get the help from you, but you won't reach every kid. Some of them need a lot more time. Some of them need parents who are willing to spend the money. Some of them need to travel for the coaching. And a lot of them just won't have the interest to spend the time doing this kind of detailed work. So you can integrate a little bit of it into your classes, but this is really a one-on-one thing. The technical stuff I gave you on the front end, the philosophy around learning music and how the brain works, that can help you in your general classes. This is a toolkit to keep in your back pocket for those specific kids that really need it. I know that there's a lot more general things I can give you for encouraging in-tune singing in your general class, in a group setting. You have those. You don't need more. Don't go to sessions like this if they're just getting the general tools, because you've got it in your curriculum. Shelly's amazing. It's a fantastic program. Let's Play knows what they're doing. The curriculum is solid for 99% of your students. The reason I wanted to come here today was to help you with that 1% that's really struggling. I hope you have some good tools there. Please come and find me anytime. My email information, my website, everything is on all of my materials. If you have a student that's particularly struggling and this stuff isn't helping, or you don't know how to do it on your own, find me. I do a lot of coaching with teachers. I'm happy to come in and observe your class. I'm happy to work with you too. I always promise to leave time for Q&A, and I always lie. I'm sorry. I love you. Thank you so much. I'll be here.